Hello everybody, it is Liam, the Deaf Doom Metalhead, and today is a brand new collection update, not like any other, because this is mostly 2023 releases in the Deaf Doom, Death Metal vein. Some real nasty releases in this one. I've got a stack of cassettes and CDs for a change, because I don't show enough love to the cassette format recently. So let's dig in. So the first band is a Greek band that I discovered a few months ago maybe from my friend Wendy. And then the band actually reached out to me to say, do you want to check out our brand new album? And that is the band Decemberance with the album Implosions. This was put out through, I can't read it, it's tiny, right in the corner, but it's all down there, you'll get it. But it's a hand numbered release, 96 out of 200. And this is 3 tracks of really monolithic doom death. And it's just amazing, but it is not an easy listen. So if you're not a fan of doom, I don't think this will convert you, because it's proper hardcore in how it approaches. I mean, some of the songs are ridiculous lengths. You've got a 24-minute track, then a really lush 9-minute instrumental, and then a 37-minute track to end the album. Now that might put people off, but I assure you, if you stick with this, you will get some amazing experiences out of this. So this is like doom death, where it's very heavy on the growly vocals, as the Greeks do really well. It's got bags and bags of really well written lead work, and the songs are really orchestrated in a really cool way where they're structured so it flows all lush. There's no just chunky riffs and they sit on it for like half an hour. It's nothing like that. It's more, they have a lot to say and they've just put it all into one song. So they're kind of dividing the album up into slim little sections. They just chucked it all together into 3 slabs of really monolithic, brutally heavy doom death. The band have been around a while. So the band formed in '97, and I think Yanis, who reached out to me, is the only original member of the band. I think they maybe have 2 or 3 albums prior to this, by memory, and maybe a split or an EP, I can't remember. But I mean, it's so good, like really good. If you're a fan of doom and you're like your slow doomy death metal, you need to check this out. It's a wicked release, and a band that have been around for such a long time, you know, they know what they're doing. Yeah, what more can I say? There's been a few albums this year out of Greece that have been really good, and this is one of them. So yeah, Decemberance, wicked release. Right, some US death metal now from the label Gurgling Gore. This is Degraved, who are based out of Seattle. This is their 2023 debut EP called Whispered Morbidity, and it comes on a blue shell, which is really snappy. And yeah, this is just fucking no nonsense US death metal, as Gurgling Gore normally put out. You know, there's no frilliness, there's no, you know, massive like atmospheric parts, nothing like that. It's just straightforward riffs, and I love it. Absolutely love this. This is so heavy. Completely new band to me. I know, I think they put out a demo and EP prior to this, so I think it had Red Font by memory, but this is just fucking killer. Really cool. That's the J card there, the lads there. So yeah, not much to say that you probably wouldn't have guessed from a Gurgling Gore release. It's just sheer brutal heavy death metal, loads of groove, you know, what more do you want? So yeah, if you haven't checked that one out, strongly recommend that. Some Degraved, I really enjoyed that. Put that over there. Right, so this band I've been after for, I want to say since 2020 maybe 2021. I can't remember when this demo came out, and I completely missed it for only one real reason, was the shipping costs. During lockdown, when it happened, it skyrocketed, and this band here, Mother of Graves, who are from Indiana, who formed in 2019, and they put this demo out, and I think the postage was something like £25 just to get the demo over here, and I would never in a million years pay that for a CD, let alone just to post it over here. So I was gutted, absolutely gutted, and then I think a few European countries destroyed it, but I never saw it. Either it vanished or I missed it. And finally they've repressed it for this year maybe, or last year, I think it's this year, and I was able to then grab the full length, which came out last year in 2022, which is called Where Shadows Adorn, and this is In Somber Dreams. So what you get with this band is strictly a kind of early Catatonia worship, with, you got the death metal influences from the US in there in pinches, but these guys remind me a lot of the band Rapture from Finland, if you know them. Very, very similar to those guys, and also very early Catatonia, so like your Dance of December Souls, Brave Murder Day, you know, that kind of vibe. And they're fucking awesome. I mean, this is a 10 out of 10 album for me, and I only managed to get it this year, otherwise it would have been in my end of year list last year, easily. A wicked, wicked band. I mean, the demo was good, and I really enjoyed this when it came out with EP, I don't know what you want to call it. I really, really enjoyed this, and I, you know, completely forgot about it as I was gonna like never get it, and I kind of sulked, and I thought I'm not going to listen to it until I receive it in my hands, and I now finally have it. But this is a step up. It's got Pablo Guarani artwork, and it's just incredible, an absolute incredible release. So if you haven't checked it out, obviously links will be below for everything I speak about today, including Bandcamp links, YouTube links, you know what I normally do. So yeah, but Wise Blood Records put these out, and they're a really cool little independent label out in the US. So if you haven't checked them out, go use the links. Go use the links. Have a sip of Jack Daniels. Right. So sticking with the Gurgling Gore tapes, this is a Spanish kind of doomy funeral doom, death doom band. Very low key, very lo-fi, and this is just a wicked release. The band is Trollcave, with Rotten Remnants Dripping into the Void. This came out I think last year. This is their debut full length from last year, and I have the EP prior to this, and it was really, really cool, but it was really lo-fi, and it had this kind of like black metal edge to it, and I wondered why. And then when you look at the members, it has the drummer from the band Jade, if you know them, who's also in Calderum, and it's him on the cover of that black metal band. And then also both members are in the band Erid Golder, which is like a kind of epic doom, kind of stonery doom band. Are really good. So this just like slowed down death doom. It's just really raw, heavy, has that kind of I want to say probably kind of like this kind of thing, like Ophis kind of vibe. I forget what the band I'm thinking of from America. Similar to Incantation, but more of a funeral doom vibe to it. It'll probably come to me later on when I'm thinking about it. But they have that vibe to them. There's the shell there, nice white shell. I really can't think of what that band is I'm comparing them to, so it doesn't really matter anyway. There they are there. This is the chap here who's the drummer for Jade, and also that Cauldron. He's all in black metal makeup on that cover, but there he is there. And this young lady here, I believe, plays the bass. No, guitar, sorry, she's the guitarist. So yeah, but no, she does bass as well though. It's the same thing in it, it's just easier. So yeah, really, really cool release. I'm mumbling on that one, but it's fucking well worth checking out. Really, really enjoy this. And another one I didn't think I'd ever get, so props to At War with False Noise up in Scotland for getting these in. And only selling them for like a £5 as well at the time, so fucking amazing work. Really cool distro. Oh, right. Next one is a Ukrainian doomy death band, and this is the latest from Sorrowful Land. This is a 2023 release called Faded Anchors of the Past. This is put out through Black Lion Records out of Sweden. And Sorrowful Land are a band from the Ukraine formed in 2014, and this is the third full length from one man project by a chap called Max, who does I think everything on this, but it's got female vocals. It's got, ooh, that light's going. Don't knock that over, Liam. There we go. I'm trying to do this with all fancy lights, and I'm such a small room I knock things over. Anyway, I did wonder when that was going to happen. So this is in the vein of, if you like Draconian, that kind of band. It has very much that vibe to it. It's very romanticised doom death. It's not focused on like a death metal edge to it. It's heavy, it's aggressive, but it's more melodic. It's got clean sun vocals in there. It's got female vocals in there. It's got a bit of everything. It's got kind of a grandiose kind of style to doom death in the vein of like your Draconians and that kind of thing. So yeah, if you haven't checked it out, obviously please do, because this one I haven't heard anyone talk about yet, or even seen anyone talk about this. So yeah, go give it a go and see what you think, because I like that kind of melodic side of doom death, where it kind of branches out into other genres and it has that kind of gothic-y vibe to it a little bit, and it's more epic in its approach to the vocals, not just relying on heavy chasmic kind of atmosphere, because I love all that, but you know, you want to break away from that sometimes. So yeah, Sorrowful Land, really good album, mate. Right, another Gurgling Gore cassette. This one is a split between Stench Collector and Seep. This is just a self-titled split, I believe. Now, Stench Collector, I think they're still going, but sadly one of their members passed away last year by the name of a Mark Bachak. Hopefully I pronounced that right. He passed away last year, and I think he did guitars, vocals, that kind of thing. And there was another EP of theirs with a vinyl with a really cool engraving on it that I really meant to pick up, but never did. I probably will do one day. So that is the shell there, and on the other side you've got Seep, which is Gurgling Gore founders. What's he call himself on this? Vomitus, but Big Daddy Gore or Ryan, you know, what name you want to call him. The man is a legend and puts out some sick releases on his label, and I mean that. Like, they're really good, like really brutal, really heavy. All the releases have wicked artwork. They all have these kind of weird looking cassettes that just stand out from others. And yeah, it's just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. This is a really cool little split. Proper nasty old school sounding death metal. And there is a dedication to Mark there in the J card. So yeah, really cool little release. It's not very long. I think there's maybe a track from each band, maybe 2 tracks per band. Yeah, something like that. So really cool. And this was also put out through Dawnbreed Records. I think it's like a joint venture. So yeah, go give that a whirl if you haven't checked that one out. Really heavy. What have we got now? Should we do that one? Yeah, one. So this is another cassette, but this is a totally different label this time. This is from 20 Bucks Spin. This is another 2023 release that I wasn't sure I was going to get or not, and then I listened to it. So I can't remember who sent it. I think Anthony sent me a stream of it, and yeah, instantly wanted this. And that is the latest from Kommand. This is Death Age. This was put out through 20 Bucks Spin. You can get this on vinyl, CD, and cassette. An LA band formed in 2015. This is their second full length for this year. Shell is nothing amazing. It's just a black shell there. But I don't know if you can guess by the artwork, if I keep it there, what it's kind of hinting at. This is in the vein of Bolt Thrower Like Worship, a little bit. I wouldn't say they sound like them or even ripping them off. They're clearly inspired by bands like Bolt Thrower, but then what band in death metal really isn't? I mean, I love Bolt Thrower, I'm inspired by Bolt Thrower, but these guys, it's war themed, so you kind of assume that initially. But it's a bit more to it than that. They've got a bit more going on in their riff work. It's not the same song after the same song using the same kind of melodies like Bolt Thrower would do. Even though I love Bolt Thrower, they weren't very creative in their riff writing. Whereas these guys are a bit more involved in the riff writing process, and they're branching out into different scales and that kind of thing. They're not just sticking to the usual. So yeah, really cool. I think this is only like 23 minutes long. It's not very long. That's why I got it on cassette. And I'm glad I did, because this is fucking mint. It sounds amazing. It's a really heavy release. Production, everything's perfect on it. And it's just exactly what I want. So if you like that kind of thing and you're a Bolt Thrower fan, but you also like your war themed death metal, you know, anyone like that is going to get a kick out of this band. So yeah, Kommand, really cool, and no doubt they'll be massive this year. I imagine a few people have that. Alright, going back to Spain. This is some proper nasty doom death, but more in the death metal vein this time. This is the band Ataraxy with their latest album, The Last Mirror. This was put out through Dark Descent, and I think Misako and Oho in the UK did the vinyl. So these are Spanish boys that have been around since 2008, and this is their third full length from last year. And it's just fucking brutal. I had this on in the car yesterday again. I've had it on several times since I've had it. And it's just savage, just really thick, heavy doom death. Or death doom, we'll call it death doom, fuck it. It's just really heavy. They're not very fast, but they do go fast. And I love them. They're really good. Really heavy. Annoyingly, this is only the first release I had for these. I've listened to these guys for ages, but I've never actually picked up anything from them because it goes really quickly and then it costs a small fortune to pick it up. So I was quite chuffed to find this really cheap on eBay. So yeah, really good Spanish band. If you haven't checked them out and you like my kind of music, you'll like these boys already. And lastly, of the Gurgling Gore tapes, this one was one I never thought I'd have, because it was like very popular. I think they even pressed it to vinyl. It was that popular. Even though it's not very long, it's brilliant and it's really heavy, it's savage, and the cover is incredible just because how random it is. Band is called Mutilation Barbecue out of Cleveland, Ohio, and this is, I think, a demo or debut EP from 2021, just called Mutilation Barbecue. and it's got 4 tracks, the 4th being a bonus track. See if you can focus on that. It's just insane. It's got like a 4-armed Goro-like pig from Mortal Kombat frying up people on a barbecue. It's brilliant. It is just brilliant. It's just savage. It's heavy. Again, another really wicked looking shell. And it's just so fucking heavy. Like, I mean, there's nothing to the J card. It's literally just some artwork there. Doesn't need to be anything fancy. It's just brutal, brutally heavy. And what more can you say to that? You know, if you like your brutal death metal, which is a bit nasty and a bit savage, go give that a whirl. That's really, really cool. Now, this one is probably one of the best live albums I've heard in ages, and it captures the band perfectly, how they sound. This is a brand new live capturing for this year, a new release for Crusader Productions out of France. Finished death metal, captured live, and that is the band Corpsessed with their latest offering, Skeletal Grotesserie. This was recorded live at the Brain Kirche in 2022. What can I say? Which is a festival in Germany. And this is fucking savage. Like, when you want to have a live recording of a band, you want to be able to kind of picture that you're there, and you're seeing the band and all the little grittiness, the noise, the feedback, all the little things like that. You want to be able to think you're there if you close your eyes, and this captures that perfectly. Now, Crusader Productions is done by a guy called, I think he's called Loic, I don't know how you pronounce his name, but the fella behind that label also is a mastering engineer, and he mastered this. I think he even mixed it as well. And it sounds massive, absolutely massive. It's such a good live album. It's just, they're a savage band anyway. I mean, I've got 2 of their albums back there. I think they put out one last year, and it's brilliant. And they do play songs off that album on this. And it's just so good. It's so heavy. It's brutal. They're finished, so you've got that ultra deep guttural. You've got insane blasts, weird eerie harmonies. It's got everything, and it's captured really well as well. Nothing goes amiss. The artwork's really cool as well. But look at that CD there. Savage. So if you like your live albums and you like good death metal, go give that a go. It's so good. I can't deny that at all. You know, some live albums you kind of go, yeah, it's alright. That is massive, absolutely massive, and it's not very expensive. If you go on Crusader's eBay channel, you can get it for 13 quid with free postage, so it's like nothing. So go give that a rouse. That's a really, really good album, live album. Right, we've only got 2 more cassettes, 2 more CDs, and I'll leave you alone. Now, this is another 2023 release from a band that was introduced to me by my friend Anthony over at Metal Miner's YouTube channel. Never heard of them before, but I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan, and this instantly reminded me of Lord of the Rings, just the cover anyway. The band is called Active Impalement, and you've got that kind of evil-looking dude there, very much, you know, with some kind of weird creatures on it there. And this is called Infernal Ordinance. Band are out of Nashville in the USA. This is their 2nd full length for this year, formed in 2012. And this is kind of like Death Doom, but it's fucking brilliant. Such a cool release. There's a chap there, old Sauron. He's not actually called that, but he reminds me a lot of him. And it just goes, just absolutely goes. It's so thick, heavy, chunky, nasty. Massive, absolutely massive. Here's the J card. Nothing fancy. It's put out through Caligari Records. And yeah, it's so good. Like, really, really good. And if I had the money, I would happily buy the vinyl version of it because I love it that much. It's not very long. Again, it's in like the 20-minute mark, like 25-minute mark. It's not very long for a full length, but it does its job. It goes in there, smashes your head, you know, your face in, and then leaves you alone. You know, it's what you want, and then you want more and more and more. It's so good. So yeah, Active Impalement. That's a fucking savage release, that is. Right, now this one has no right to be this good. I mean, Ryan's a lovely bloke, but it pisses me off sometimes that people that can write music on their own can do it this good as well. And this is the latest from Sven Doors, but Feast of the Repulsed Dead, which is put out through Redefining Darkness, which is a label I'm also on, so label buddies, yay! Anyway, so this is a homage to 80s slasher flicks and just savage, really well written death metal. There is Ryan there, looking all fucking heavy metal. And he does this all by himself. He's got guest solos from a few people I actually know. So you've got a guest solo from Paul out of Deeper Fundness. I know that Paul. You've also got the guitarist from Skeletal Remains on this one as well. He's managed to get him in there. He's got a few other dudes in there as well. He's even got the guy Dave from Acid Witch doing like this weird intro to the album. And this just flows. It's really, really well written death metal. Just, it's so heavy. So if you haven't checked that out, go support Ryan. You can buy it through Redefining Darkness, but also if you want to get it from Ryan, I think you have to message him on social media, which I had to do to get it, because you can get it on vinyl as well. It's just, every single song is brilliant on this. Like, it really pissed me off how good this was, because it's like, how has he done that? You know, that's not fair. He spent fortunes going into studios and he's doing it in his bedroom. It's ridiculous. And I think he's already written the next album after this one as well, which is even fucking more insulting to people like me. It's just like, you're a pleb and I am a pleb, and you know, you've got people like Ryan who just ripping it. And then the next one I'm going to show you was on that as well. Fucking nerds and their guitars, honestly. But anyway, go check this out because it's really, really good. Like, another, it's nearly a 10 out of 10 for me. I have a few more listens it might be, because I've had this on a lot. Like, it's so easy to digest and just take in, and it's very, very memorable. Solo, everything about it is really professional, and it's just not fair. So yeah, Sven Doors, go give that a razz. That's really, really good. Right, two more. Right, this one is a four-way split between 4 UK death metal bands of proper underground nastiness, and this is called Don't Go Out in the House, which was put out through I think Noise Terror Records, I think, did this. So this has 4 bands. You've got Gouger from Scotland, which is Ken and Dave's band. Dave does all the programming and Ken from Brainbath does the vocals. Cremulation, which are a new band. They're a Welsh band, a kind of caveman-esque like death metal, very raw, very savage. And then you've got Blood Rage, which features Joe from Trenchfoot, Tom Hughes from Crypt Rot, who put out a really good album last year as well. And then again, Ryan was on this, but he's on 2 bands, because you've got Blood Rage and then you've got Born Undead, which he's also guitar playing in, which has a dude, I forget his name, from Nottinghamshire, who's a black metal vocalist. Again, all of these are brilliant. It's in the vein, again, 80s horror films. It's just savage, it's heavy. All of them do a really good job on this. It's a really, really good release for a split. And it's just brutal. Just brutal music. And what more do you want? If you can read that, fair play to you. But yeah, it's just brilliant. Really, really good stuff. And I'm really excited actually, because Blood Rage, yeah, I'm playing with Consecration in Scotland next year, so I get to meet all those lads in the flesh and tell Ryan how I feel about his new album in person. But yeah, it's just, they're all legends, and all of this is a really good representation of underground UK death metal. So if you haven't given that a go, I'll leave a link below and you can tell me how much you like it. And lastly, last one of the night, and a brilliant one, I had this on the car today, and that is Morbid Stench with The Rotting Ways of Doom. And this came out last year. It's their second full length from the band that are based out of Costa Rica, that formed in 2014. 3-piece of savage, deathy doom metal. I mean, Roger over Roger Corvick YouTube channel got me into this band, and all he had to do was show me that cover. I was like, yep, I want that. As soon as he said Death Doom and he showed me that, I'm all in. Didn't even have to listen to it, already know I was going to like it. If he likes it, I know I like it. That's how bad his YouTube channel is for people like me, you know. See, he shows so much fucking good music, it's unreal. But this is brilliant. It's heavy, it's raw, it's nasty. It's got some really eerie, horrible leads under it. You know, the growls are really guttural and really heavy. Like, it's just everything you want. It's just savage. And it's not very long again. I think this is only maybe over half an hour long, 35 minutes tops. Not very long. And it's brilliant, you know, easy to digest, easy to get into. It's got subtle doom moments in it, and it's got some really good riffs. It's got everything. So yeah, Morbid Stench. And that is the end of this video. So I hope you liked it. So if you did, please like it, so let YouTube know I'm alright. And if you are new to the channel, you could consider subscribing if you want to. I'll put content all around my head. But in the meantime, please check out the links below and let me know what you think in the comment section. And I'll speak to you guys soon. Cheers.